travel really far to come see y'all, dog. I said we walked real far, dog.
Yeah, like 15 minutes.
15-minute walk. It might be the transgender. Here we go. Watch out.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? Win this thing, man. Appreciate y'all being patient. Patient sitting here waiting, man. Miami Falls yesterday, man. 28-23 to Georgia Tech. That's 2 years in a row. I was up there in Atlanta. Shout out to the villains in the house. We're gonna open up the phone lines. We got a link in the villain membership. We're gonna open up the phone lines a little later and let them come in and ask a question. But Miami Falls 28-23. Cam Ward throws for 348 yards, 3 touchdowns. Haynes King rushes for 93 yards. Philo throws for 5 for 10. He throws for 67 yards, which is the other quarterback. It's the third down quarterback that they were coming in, and we knew he was going to throw the ball. All together, I mean, offensively, I think they went for like 275 on the ground. Looked like Georgia Tech at the O. And they threw for 99 yards. Daryl Porter goes back to the outside. Defense still looks a little confused at times. Being there, like even their energy as the game go on, you could their energy. They kind of looked a little like, oh, here we go again. And I don't like it. But at the helm is, I mean, you got Lance Guidry at the helm. I think a lot of us like the guy. Last year he did a great job. And this year, with the number 1 offense in the nation, they're giving up 23 points a game, 316 yards a game. And we're gonna get into all of that. I got my boys in the back, man. I'm gonna bring them in here. I got Kyle, Maddie, X in the back. What's going on, man?
Hard times, baby. Hard times. What's going on?
That boy said hard times.
We say hard times.
We good. What's going on, fellas?
No, yeah, I'm good. Man.
Somebody crashed out yesterday. I know they did. Shoot, Lex was driving home, boy. That boy was salivating, boy. You could hear him honking the horn at people. Hey, I bet that was the fastest ride home he ever had. That boy did that trip from Georgia to Carolina in 30 minutes.
How about a call with me? I was ready to risk it all.
Man, he was tripping too, man.
I was there.
Man was tripping too, man. Man was. I got the 40 right here, man. Boom. Yeah, Maddie was tripping too. Listen, so the game ends, and I'm asking Maddie, I'm like, bro, you think they should have stormed the field? You know what I'm saying? Maddie's still taking it all in. You can see like the cartoons, his face turning red. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, you think they're gonna storm the field? He was like, nah, that's why they got the security there. I think the security was helping them jump the fence to get on the field, bro. The security didn't stop anything.
I think it's I think that's the most frustrating. There is not a team in this fucking conference that Miami fans would storm the field for. I don't think there's a lot of teams in college football that Miami would storm the field for. So I think that's the part that I feel like when you lose a team like this, it's like, give me a fucking break. It might be Georgia. Nobody's storming the field to go. I don't care how old young our fans are. That's just something we don't do. Yeah, like he beat Alabama. Nobody's storming the field for that shit. Are you kidding me? That's what loser ass like teams and loser ass conferences do.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
shout out to Lane Kiffin. Shout out to Lane Kiffin. Shout out to Ole Miss.
When it's all said and done, what about Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss?
No, I'm making a point.
Oh.
The stupid ass people, they storm the
field. Before
they even fucking got a chance to
at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you go home. Yeah.
Yeah, before it was 16 seconds on the clock.
That happened twice yesterday, I think, didn't it?
For what? For us,
somebody had to get sent back out. Yeah. I see. I got Rico. We got Rico on the break. Rico, I'm gonna get you in a minute. All right.
X been quiet, man. I gotta hear X stars.
You say he been quiet.
My thoughts on the game or storming the field?
No, I don't give a damn about storming the field. About the game.
Oh. So I guess yesterday, man, I don't even know which tweet I'm supposed to address. I tweeted out a couple ones. One was a joke, and I guess it went far left. That was the adopt thing. But then the other one about Coach Guidry. I was on board like everybody else. I thought, his scheme is a good scheme. He's a good defensive coordinator. I just think this is too much for him. I don't think he's this level of college football, which is Power 4, big boy football. I don't think that's for him. Because he's not used to having talent. Not saying we don't have talent. But he's not used to having talent, and he's confused, and the players are confused. Like you playing a team. I mean, God, Georgia Tech ain't run nothing. They ran probably 5 plays the whole game, and it was all motion, misdirection, and the team was confused. It was a play. Matter of fact, on the last play that they got the last first down where the guy slid. Everybody, it's a wide receiver standing out wide open. Nobody is trying to even run out there. The linebacker, who's the middle linebacker, is like, hey, somebody get out there. Then he has to run out there. I'm like, yeah, this. At that point, if a team is so unprepared and confused, it's not the players, it's the coach at that point. Because at one point, if it's the players, you got to get their ass off the field. And they're not doing it. They keep sending Harris out there. They keep sending Powell out there. They look confused. Kiko, he can't guard nobody out the backfield. I mean, but yesterday, our linebackers, shit. Now you're starting to see the depth. Players are starting to get hurt, but yeah. I mean, overall for the game, we.
So listen, Ed, check this out. So no, the tweet, the tweet you tweeted out was you was all on board with Lance, yada yada yada, right? I was all on board with Lance, but now I think it's time or something like that. In the comment section, right? I want y'all to know, Lance Guidry defense has struggled this year. Do y'all want Lance Guidry replaced? In the comment section, just let me know, and then I'll let y'all see. We asked the poll in the group me. We asked the poll. I'm gonna put that up here, and then we'll reveal what they said in our Discord in the villain membership. I took a poll. Are y'all asking for Lance Guidry to be removed? You know what? I'm gonna show that right here. And X, just explain your tweet. Like, what do you mean it's time? The hell you mean it's time? Like what are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking about?
Okay,
What do you
so
mean by it's time?
what I mean is time is okay. We're in week 10. I guess I would say after shit. Let me see. We played Florida first. We played Fam and Ball. South Florida game was the beginning of the defense looking fucking confused. Like they just didn't know what the fuck they supposed to be doing. Out of place. They getting beat on simple dumb shit. We in week 10 and it's the same shit is going on. So last season, you know, and I keep telling people like, shit, y'all can say what y'all want about James and Cam. Our defense ain't look confused. We just got beat. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't look confused. We look confused, totally confused. That's a coaching problem. Week 10, that's a coaching problem. Now I understand why he don't go zone. We ain't the niggas is probably some dumb motherfuckers out there. They can't think for shit. Like simple plays. It's like on a 3rd and 18 from each power, everybody's covering man, and you see the man run, and then you still go sit in zone. I mean, okay, well, shit. Yeah, it's time.
Okay, so how do you? All right, so you're saying it's time to what?
That's your smart guy. That's your smart guy.
It's two things to do. It's either you gonna make some changes with the roster personnel, or you got to get gone. You got to go because everything else is moving up, and we shit. Miami defense like this is crazy. Like it's looking like we got fucking Al Golden or Manny Diaz. I mean, Manny Diaz wasn't this bad. Obviously, he did have some fuck ups, but man, this is bad.
All right, so we saying they look unprepared. Now we know for a fact, right? Right. I mean, because we know for a fact last year when he came in, we spoke to enough players and enough people that said they were overprepared. You remember that? Like they were overprepared. Like they had never been worked. They would never play for. They had never played for a coach that had them more prepared than Lance Guidry. Basically, he watched all the film. He broke everything down. He brought it to them, set it on their desk, and basically the players was like, we don't even have to really watch film. Like he has all the answers. This was just last year, right?
So now the bad thing about that, though,
so
is,
you take that information. If you take that information, right? You take that information and you bring it to this team, right? And tell me, like, I mean, so what are we looking at? Go ahead.
The bad thing about that is you don't got the players to execute it. Like when you saying, okay, look, I got all the answers, but I'm gonna need players to go out there and make some plays. We ain't got it. Like we ain't got the Cam going out there to make a play. We ain't got the James who telling the linebackers to shift, or he come down and he make the fucking tackle. That's a simple tackle that the safety's supposed to make. Like we ain't got them players. So that's the bad thing. I don't know, man. This is crazy. But it's expected because I told everybody for one in the beginning of the season, I said our secondary is going to be the problem. We'll beat teams, but our secondary going to be an issue.
Yeah, we all knew that. We all thought we was weak in the secondary. We all knew that. All right, so I'm gonna run y'all off some numbers. So listen. The defense is ranked number 20 in yardage. Is ranked number 24 in rushing yardage. It's giving up 23 points per game, right? 23 points allowed, 316 yards allowed. In 2023, last year, he gave up 19 points a game, 328 yards allowed, right? In 2022, who's our defensive coordinator?
Kevin Steele.
Kevin Steele was allowing 26.8 points a game, 376 yards a game. In 2021, he was allowing 28 points a game, 389 yards a game. In 2020, who was our defensive coordinator? Remember?
Shipman Manny Diaz.
Blake Baker. Blake Baker was a DC.
Blake Baker in 2020,
Diaz or Blake Baker.
27 points. Blake Baker gave up 27 points a game in 2020. And then in 2018, 18 points a game, 278 yards a game. That was the lowest total in 2018. In 2017, we gave up 21 points a game, 361 yards a game. Bro, 23 points a game and 316 yards a game. When you start talking about stats, it isn't bad. I know what we visually see out of our eyes every week. You feel me? But
I don't think people.
It isn't horrible.
But here's the reason why it's bad. It's the teams who's doing it. It ain't that the defense is bad. It's the fucking teams we playing that's doing it. Like Georgia Tech offense is bad. It was no way they supposed to do that to us yesterday. Who we played before? Cal offense is bad. It was no way they supposed to do that to us. Duke offense is bad. It was no way they supposed to do that to us. That's the bad part. It's like, okay, statistically we're not bad, but shit, the teams that's doing it to us are bad. Why the fuck are we letting it happen?
It's our ACC brethren. It's the same guys we play every year.
I mean, so we watch Duke play Florida State.
It's the same guys we play every year.
Bad. We watched Cal play Florida State. Cal couldn't score a damn touchdown against them, but somehow they miraculously could put up 1,000 points against us. It's like, come on. So at this point, I think it's overstated that we're playing down to our competition. That's overstated. I mean, it's just bad, but we now the one.
So Cal, I mean,
bounce back.
So Cal, I mean, you heard. So X, did you clear up what you were trying to say in the tweet? You just
no. Okay, so my okay, so the whole thing. No, okay, so here, I'm gonna break it down. What I was saying is, you got solutions, Gilgy. You got to either change the personnel, or you got to go. Because if it's too big for you, then do us a favor and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Before you keep fucking it up even worse.
Is that a thing? Like, coaches get pulled up from high school to college. Coaches get pulled up from all levels of college football, right? To come to college. Like, is that really a thing that something is too big for a coach? Like,
yeah.
Like what is what is that? He ain't got to tackle nobody.
Yeah, but the moment's too big for him to be the defensive coordinator. He's in charge of 40 something players on defense. I don't know. Sometimes you just don't belong in that big time program. You know, it's a difference. Like, okay, Gildry, he's been coaching for that long, and he haven't had a Power 4 job before Miami. I mean, that was a kind of a red flag. Oh, well, yeah, he got a drinking issue. Okay. Shit, what coach don't got a drinking issue and they be get losing and stuff like that? He got a drinking issue. Nobody. I don't even care about that. Now you're coaching the big boy football. You got to be prepared. You're getting paid a lot of money to be prepared. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, bro. Yeah, we've heard he prepared. So let me get Cal's thoughts. Cal, let me get your thoughts on what you saw yesterday. What you surprised? First of all, Cal, before you go, let me get these results. Then you could go. So these are results in the Village membership. I asked, do they feel basically? Y'all saying Lance Gary should be let go, right? And let's see. I'm gonna pull up the results right here. So 42% says yes, 32% says no, 26% say he needs time. That's from the Villains. Our membership. Cal, what you think about that, dog?
I think that 42% that said no is probably Lex voting like 10 times by himself. 'Cause he been screaming that shit since we won. But nah, I definitely don't think it's because you can't like, bro, you can't praise him for what he did last year at that time and everybody was excited. And then now we going through this year and now you want him fired. Like it don't work like that. Like the odds have to even out. Like I see if we was on year 3 and you gave me 1 good year and 2 bad years, then that makes sense. I think everybody's just frustrated at how simplistic we're getting beat. I'm on board with what X is saying though. What X is trying to say is, hey, if you're not gonna do something about this, then you need to go. I'm 100% with that. And what I mean is, no, I don't expect you to wake up tomorrow and have the answer. But to us, it's like you're not trying everything that you can try. You know what I'm saying? It's like you keep saying, I don't want to hear that shit no more about we got what we got. Motherfucker, put somebody else on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's been saying the whole time, hey man, we can go this, we can do that, we can try this and whatever. And it's like you have a reluctance to do it. Like these guys got videotape of you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. And I try not to call out specific players, but your safety play is atrocious, bro. And it's a lot of breakdowns coming from your safety play. And for some reason you still won't pull them. So that's where the frustration comes in with X. It's not necessarily about your scheme or your performance. It's, bro, what are you going to do? And it's like you just kind of relegated yourself to saying, I ain't going to do shit. We got what we got. We going to play complementary football to the offense. And I'm just like, nah, bro, that's not how it works. Because if that's the way you feel, then it's time for us to get to the podium and ask you the Manny Diaz question. Are you telling me we need more to beat Georgia Tech? Are you telling me we need more to keep Cal from scoring 40 points? Like, you can't talk to me like that and expect me to believe that. And I think that's where the problem lies, not necessarily in the results, but in like, what are you trying to do? What are you doing different? And you've tried some different things, bro, but you ain't pulled out all the stops. And like X say, now it's looking like it's a coaching problem, but I take it all game by game. This is why I say don't want to, because there's been plenty of games where the defense didn't perform, but they were in position to perform. We saw it. There's plenty of games where these guys are set up right. And the Virginia Tech game, you got Austin missing 3 freaking sacks. 3. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made the Virginia Tech game go so long or whatever. So, just to answer your question, no, it ain't. No, you have to give a person a chance to redeem himself when he's shown you he's capable. So, my answer is no to that, him about being fired stuff. It's way too early for that.
Yeah,
But if you keep talking like this, you keep saying we got what we got, then I kind of want you gone.
I don't want him fired. I'm just saying, like KB just said, I just think you got to make changes. He's a safety coach. I mean, when your group is real bad, then it's an issue. It's a major issue because that's your group. You know what I'm saying? You coach the safeties. Yeah, the whole defense is yours, but you coach the safeties personal. I mean, he got to switch up, man. I don't know why 15 need to be in the game. I don't want to see 0 and 7 no more at all. Like because neither one is making the calls that need to be made in the secondary or on the defense. They both look confused. One takes the worst angles. I don't know if he think he's a 4-2 guy, but all his angles are real bad. He I don't know if that's taught or that's just how he plays football. That's crazy. 0, it's like all he want to do is dance. He don't even want to go hit nobody. He just want to dance. Or if the ball thrown to him, then he'll catch an interception. We got to switch it up, man. Then the D line. I mean, I thought the D line.
So do y'all right? Do you expect Jason Taylor? Right. We take Jason Taylor. Right. He's seen a lot of football on every level. Right. As a coach, if he's in the room with you, you figure you can bounce something off him, right? He's coached at every level too, other than pro so far. You figure you could bounce something off him, and he'll at least give you something back if it makes sense, right?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's played on all the levels of football. He's coached high school. He's coaching college now, so he's probably more in tune with the player lot than Gildry. So I'm pretty sure if a player is having an issue, they might come to Jason Taylor before they go to Coach Gildry. So I think, but then again, because they made Coach D. Nicholas the Coach DC, which is a good thing. So I'm like, he has coaches there that I'm thinking he should be. Hey, what's up, Coach? Give me some feedback. What should we do in certain situations and stuff like that? I don't know.
Well, let me pump the brakes. Let me pump the brakes.
Wait.
Before you talk yourself in the hole. Just let me pump the brakes. I see.
Can I answer that? Can I
see
can
how
I
he
answer
interacts with Jason Taylor, and I see how they interact with him. Right? You want to answer before I say this, KB? You sure? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Gidry himself has spoken on that. Gidry said specifically, Gidry say, I'm not a boss, I'm a leader. He said when you're a leader, you have to ask questions. He said that this is not my defense, this is our defense. So when Jason has something to come and say to me, they have free will and they do it. They'll come and say, hey, we should adjust here, we should go there. He says, me, Jason, is D Nick. He said this on the podium. He said, so no, it's not me by itself. This is not Jason get credit for this, this is our defense. And we do have open communication and we're looking for plays. We got the play sheet. We got every defense we've tried. And Jason will come and say, hey, why don't we try that one? And we'll go do it. So just to answer that, like, yeah, he's leaning on his guys. He said that himself, like, yeah, we're all in this room together. And I believe him the way he comes off. I definitely believe him.
Hey, so
I see how they interact with him. And Jason Taylor respects his mind. I've seen them interacting too many times. Like Jason Taylor respects his mind. They have a lot of respect for each other. I think it's clear to us if you pay attention to Lance Gidry, like he said, he's not an I guy. He's not the guy standing up saying, I'm the guru, right? Acting like there's not other people in the room with him. You can tell he's a nice guy, right? That's saying we're doing this together. He's telling you the truth, I believe. Like, we're doing this together, and it's always a work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have an issue with that. My whole thing is, okay, but you got to make player personnel adjustments. That's my issue. You're not making it. It's like, remember years ago we kept saying, well, hey boy, why they not taking the dude who keep targeting out the game? And man, you kept telling everybody, well, he goes to practice, he's doing everything the coaches want in practice, so he's going to play. We like, well, shit, does that matter? You get him out the game. So we're looking now and saying, well, shit, but why is they in the game? You got to make player personnel adjustments, and that's a part of being a good coach. I mean, he knows that. I don't know why it's not happening, but maybe it's something that we're missing. But let me ask all y'all one question, right?
Right.
So at the beginning of the year, right, or even from last year to this year, the one thing we all said was, man, we wanted Mario to allow his coaches to coach. We're 10 games in, and Mario is allowing his coaches to coach. Are we happy or are we mad?
And before I just want to answer the first question from Street. Nobody asked me no one got my 2 cents. So
What up, man? Hold up, Matty. So you gonna answer both questions? You gonna answer both questions?
Yeah, I can knock out both.
Age just asked the question. Okay.
In regards to the question about should Gidry refired, the answer is a resounding no. While there's been struggles, like we the same fan base that was praising him last year when he had all those injuries, he was depleted. He switched to 3-3-5 and the defense was successful. Granted, it was on a 7-5 effort, but we clearly saw that he was able to make adjustments that other coordinators we've had here in the past have not been able to. With that being said, there is something to lend to why he possibly should be taken out or should be fired if they're going in that direction, because It seems like this year he doesn't have that. I've stood on this, and I'll die on this hill. I think him losing a utility knife like James Williams and a straight up deep ball eraser like Cam Kitchen is kind of holding him back. I think the flexibility that James gave him going down the box. James didn't want to be a safety, only for him to end up being an NFL linebacker anyway. But James didn't want to be a linebacker, excuse me. But having that a 6'5" guy who can have that versatility, it covered up a lot of holes, and it created a situation where you couldn't really plan for them because James Williams was like that. He was like that athlete on the field, right? Same way everybody sucks off Travis Hunter. That was James Williams on defense. You know what I'm saying? We had an opportunity to kind of be put in different places and positions, and that created a lot of flexibility and versatility in Atlanta's defense. Fast forward this year, I don't know if I know he doesn't have any. Somebody like Caleb Spencer would have been real nice to have on his defense. But it is what it is right now. And I hate to sound like him when I say that, but we put our eggs in the basket on the offensive side, and I don't know if we have. I ain't gonna say we had scraps for the defensive side, but we clearly didn't have enough to appease other people. To answer the X's question, yeah, I'm glad that they're coaching. I think Mario's hand in the offense and maybe in the defense too. We'll never really fully know. That's a lot to be desired, and we can see the evidence, right? Like contrary to what we think, it's still a top 20 defense in America, and it's the number one offense in America. So, yeah, when Mario got his hand out the pot and let his coaches coach, I think that put in perspective how much we needed him to stop doing that shit, and how much it opened up the opportunity for the coordinators to actually coordinate, to call plays, to do the things that we pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars to do. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I had to step out for a minute there. You asked the question about Mario allowing.
Yeah, like Mario basically he's allowing his coaches to coach, his coordinators to do their job, and we see it this year opposed to what we seen last year. So are we as fans, are we happy that he's doing that? Because I could see certain situations yesterday during the game where I felt like if Mario was Mario from last season, we probably win the game. Because even on like the fourth down plays, I think the one when they went for a pass, I'm like, well, shit, the old Mario is not letting the motherfucker throw the ball. He's gonna run the ball. You know what I'm saying? And then when we get down in scoring position, we go for it. And I'm like, well, we got the best kicker in the nation. Why we ain't kick the field goal? So I'm like, I'm happy though. I'm happy he's allowing his coach to coach. But then that's when he's supposed to step in and be the head coach and say, hey, let's get this 1 yard by just beating them up and run the ball. Or let's get these guaranteed 3 points because we got the kicker. We can get it. So that's why I wanted to ask the question to see if you guys was happy or mad about it.
I'm elated, dog. We're 9-1. We just lost our first game. If the first 2 years was him being a tyrant or him not allowing his coaches to coach, right? I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't ever want that again. Okay? So if this is the result, and we 9-1, you feel me? And we got a few things we got to fix. Because I don't know if Mario is the answer to fix the defense. You know what I'm saying? Mario is an offensive line guy. That's his specialty. So I think the result of this season, yes, keep it exactly the way it is. I mean, as a CEO, though, at some point you have to step in. There is no hands off when you're the top man getting $8 million. At some point you have to step in. Shit rolls downhill, right? Yeah, so at some point you got to step in. But if I had to pick the two, I mean, no, I'm picking. I'd rather it be how it is now. He seems happier, like he lost some weight. He seems, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. When he was running to call that timeout, I was scared he might pop something, man.
It seemed like every game, dog. He looked like that. He running. He be running the call timeout. KB, what you think?
KB, you on mute.
My answer is the same as yours. Like, if what's the alternative? What we saw the last 2 years? Now, I'm happy. I ain't no mute.
No, you good.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
My mic muted.
You might be delayed a little bit.
Y'all can hear me? Let me go back out.
All right.
Oh, okay. No, my answer is the same as
Yeah. So I would love for it to stay the same. Yesterday we get to the game, me and Matty walking on the sideline. And Georgia Tech, the way they got to set it up is that there's no space on Miami Hurricane sideline. Like the cameraman can't walk behind the sideline and go from side to side. You can only do that on Georgia Tech side. They have one side. So we walk through, we go to the game, and Lance Guidry sees me, start smiling, and he dapped me up. And Matty's behind me, dog. I'm thinking Matty's about to walk up to him and ask him about Jaden Harris or something, man. I'm saying to myself, man, I hope Matty just chill out, man. Just shake the man's hand and keep going. That game starts off, bro, and they run the ball down our throat. And Matty is saying to me, Street, they can't throw the ball. They can't throw the ball. His shoulders mess up. And they decide to not throw the ball and read option or counter, jet sweep us to death. You feel me? And I know Guidry and Taylor have an answer for that. They have to. This basic football. But when things don't happen on the field, it has to fall somewhere in between both. You know what I'm saying? It has to. Now my question is, because I talk to y'all, I talk it like this, like the defense is the CB student, and the offense is the A student in the house. And we respect more from the A student. I do. In the comment section, like, how do we only have 10 points going into the fourth? How do we only have 10 points halfway through the fourth quarter?
I think yesterday, man, it got to a point where Cam is starting to try to play. He's playing hero ball every game, and it caught up because the team was like, well, listen, we ain't finna let you beat us with big passes. You're going to beat us with dump short passes here and there, and it caught up with us. You know what I'm saying? Cam just was still trying to play big boy ball where he was holding the ball a lot longer than he should. He missed some throws that he should have thrown. It just caught up with us. You know what I'm saying? You've been playing with fire. You know, we just got caught at the end of the day. It was one mistake. You know what I'm saying? I'm not crashing out like everybody else. We lost. Obviously, we shouldn't have lost to this team. They trash. We lost, but it's one game. Nobody at the beginning of the season thought we would be 9-1. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not crashing out. We're 9-1. We still have an opportunity to get to the ACC Championship game. We got 2 games left. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? We live to fight another day. We got 2 more teams to fight against. We beat those teams. We in the ACC Championship game. And we started to get some secondary guys back. You know, Damari Brown, hopefully he's back next game. Elijah Austin, Popo, those guys hopefully will be back next game. Because it's starting to look that, yeah, we need some guys. We need some guys back. You know, offensively. The one thing I want to say about Dawson is I'm kind of it irks me when you stop running the ball when you can't run the ball. Like
right.
We run the ball and then you just stop. Like I don't know why. You got 4 running
Is
backs.
it Cam Ward X? Is it Cam Ward changing the plays?
No, I don't think he changed the plays. I think he changed the plays when he needs to, but I'm sure Cam Ward let those guys run the ball if they run the ball. It's like we're not calling the plays. And then you can see, like, on yesterday when Fletcher was getting some yards and then Martinez was getting yards, it was like counters. It wasn't running up the middle of the field no more. So I'm like, well, why we don't run more counters? But again, I'm not mad about the offense. I just know it caught up with us. You know what I'm saying? You can't play hero ball every game. Georgia Tech played us the same way they played us last year. And that's the crazy part. They played us the exact same way they played us last year on defense. Offense, that's the head scratcher. Like, shit, Gilgy, they ain't did nothing. Like, they ran 5 plays. I could have went out there and called a defense or something like that.
No. Mehdi, you know why we had 10 points in it?
Yeah, and I talked to you on the walk back. Ego. There's no other way to put it. Ego. There are multiple times in that third, fourth quarter you should have took the points and you didn't. And you lose by 5. You left 6 on the field at minimum. You could argue 8, which is your 35 points that you should be averaging, give or take. You average like what, 40, 50 a game, 46 or something like that. But
Right.
you left 8 on the field when you go for the 2, when you were trailing, which you didn't necessarily need to, and you bypass going for 3 twice. That's 8 points. You lost by 5. You would have won by 3. And it changes the trajectory of the game when if you take those points, instead of driving for Ken to make a Superman play in that second, you're just driving and chipping it downfield, getting what you can and get in position to have Restrepo kick it for a game winner. Not Restrepo, Borgales, my fault. Kick it for a game winner.
He got Restrepo to kick it.
And so when you focus on when you're letting the ego speak for you, it's like, oh, you're just gonna go for it. And I get it, right? It's kind of been building because teams have been doing that shit to us. And in a game like that, yeah, you're looking at those. There's a bunch of times where I was saying something, I was like, you people gonna try to go for it, they're gonna try some trick play, they're gonna try to, because it seems like every team does that. We're everybody's Super Bowl. We don't storm the field for teams like this. They storm the field for us. We are their Super Bowl. They want to be the ones to say, oh, and then they go tell all they recruits that's still not good enough to play in Miami. You see, we beat Miami. You see that, guys? That's the problem. But if you stick to what your game plan is, and I'm saying right now, from a straight game interest, like once again, Mario got handled pretty decisively by Brent Key. And I've been talking all year about, we breaking generational curses. This one of the ones that we thought he was gonna come fix and adjust, and he hasn't done it. And now we got to go on a bye week. Hope the team stay focused. They're gonna be fuming over a loss. We got to see now. Like we got through that shit. We almost lost the last game. This is the first time in probably ever we've had 2 bye weeks in a season. Let's be count from that last bye week was the Cal game. You see how that shit went to the tune of 28-10 out the gate. And a Herculean effort before people really knew Cam Ward is. Now you got another one in Wake Forest who just went toe-to-toe with that same Cal team and that vaunted defense. And Hank Bachmeier, who is head and shoulders a better quarterback than Haynes King. Haynes King is 3-0 against Miami at 2 different schools in 3 years, and he hasn't passed for more than 151 yards. 151.
You know what Haynes King is good at, Eddie?
Running, I guess.
He got cojones, no diddy. He's a damn football player. I done seen it. I done seen it one too many times, bro. He's a goddamn football player, and his coach trusts him. You know why? Because he look him in the eye, and coach know when he send his ass out there, he finna give him 100%, bro.
And I told you in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through what he was talking about this, and you said, oh, he out there with the captains, so he's not playing. I was like, shit. I said, shit. We talked about me, Rich. We talked about these carry me out my shield type players who I think that shit is a gimmick. That was Jordan Travis too. Where Jordan Travis at? He's still in the league?
What about him?
He's still in the league, right?
Oh, he was hurt. He had to recover. Remember?
Yeah, you think he's
I
ever
think
going
he
to play
said.
a meaningful snap in the NFL?
Hmm. That's a
And
good
I will
question.
argue, and I will argue he's a better quarterback. And this is crazy to say, he's a better quarterback than Haynes King, in my opinion.
Nah, he hurt, man. He on the practice squad. That man was never gonna play in the goddamn NFL team. Not at quarterback.
So listen. All right. So listen. Let's get into this. KB, you wanted to add something? You had to. You got out of here. You wanted to add something before you go?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the way Mario's been coaching all year. I didn't have a problem with any of the things he did yesterday. Like I see a lot of this stuff is hindsight. Oh, we should have. I'm looking at the comment section. We should have took the points, the timeout, blase, squaze. I don't think y'all understand. Mario was playing flow of the game. The way our defense played, it scared him shitless. I personally had a problem with him kicking the first field goal. I think he should have went for it and got a touchdown, just watching the way the game is going. So every time he went for it on those four, it wasn't him trying to like he understood that. God damn, if I put our defense back on the field, I don't know when I'm gonna get the ball back. I don't know if they're gonna allow the other team to score. The defense scared the shit out of him, and it should. I have no problem with him not kicking any of those field goals because that defense was fucking atrocious. They let Georgia Tech hold the ball for a whole fucking quarter and cap it off with a touchdown. Like, nah, man. Mario was like playing floor of the game. He saw what was happening. Like, dog, we can't. Our defense was damn putrid. So I don't have a problem with that. The timeout he did before the point thing, I have a problem with not that he called the timeout, but the fact that you came out of a 2-minute warning and y'all was not prepared for a potential fake. I
Right.
don't
Now,
understand how you
Kyle,
went in there. Hmm?
my understanding is that there was 12 people on the field.
Oh God, even worse. Shit, even
No, you're
fucking
right.
worse. My
But yeah, I mean, at that
yeah,
point,
my damn. My assumption
someone's
was my assumption, just like everybody was saying on the thing, like he saw something and they weren't prepared. So I'm like, how the fuck you not prepared? Either way, you weren't prepared. The fact that you had
Nah.
12
They
men
had 12
on
men on the
on the
field.
field. How the fuck do you do that out of a 2-minute warning? That makes no sense at all. The same 12 niggas line up for the punt team all the time, don't they? Nobody got hurt. I don't understand. So
No.
that's that had a
So
problem with
KB,
that.
you right. It's no excuse, but they had 12 men. They went to a punt safe defense, but they sent the extra man who's normally on the punt return. He wasn't supposed to be on the field. That's why they had
You
12
had a
men on
whole
the
two.
field. So
You
I
had a
mean,
whole
it's
2 minute. You had a
inexcusable.
whole
It's
yeah. You had a whole
inexcusable.
2-minute timeout you had a whole 2-minute warning timeout to make sure everybody that went out there was supposed to be out there. That makes
Yeah,
absolutely and then on top of that, whoever the captain is out there, on top of that, it took Georgia Tech forever to get their thing lined up because they was doing whatever they was, that little special huddle thing they was doing. You had time to run somebody off of the field because you should have been out there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and counted that shit, and we shouldn't have had to blow that time out. Unprepared. We're a very poorly coached team. Like I don't drop a lot of that on Mario. I think he's doing a good job this year. But we are piss poor and very we're not being coached very well, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, we can go to the next topic. I'm sorry. But oh no, before we go, that Dawson shit, Rob, that we do this game to game. We'll run for like 15 yards, get a first down, and then we come out empty backfield. Let's throw the ball. Why are we consistently doing that? 4th and 1, you ran a bootleg or whatever that was. He's a right-handed quarterback. Am I right? We're a right-handed quarterback. Why did you run that to the left? If you're gonna run that, why would you run that to the left? That was stupid. You shouldn't have ran it. You should have ran the ball up the middle. But if you're gonna call that play, call it to his strong side.
I think
Because
they
when you
called it
run it
because
to your left, how
it
you?
was the I think it was because it was to the field side. He had more room to navigate, but
Yeah, they
it was
normally
That's dumb.
when you do a bootleg to the short side of the field, you always do it to the right, to the quarterback's throwing no to the quarterback opposite throwing hand. So I
Nah,
understand why
on
he
that,
did it.
that's dumb. It's a 4th and 1. I'm not doing that, bro. My quarterback is right-handed, bro. I'm not doing that, bro. That's
Yeah,
that's
but
that's
Cal,
crazy. Uh-uh.
all season you got Cam making plays. You just figure he's going to make a play regardless. So you're not worrying about he's not gonna get this 1 yard. You worrying about shit how much of yards he gonna get or is it gonna be a touchdown? That's what you're worrying about.
Man,
mean,
you have to have a feel for the game, and the way
but
this game was
again, like I
playing.
said, Mehdi said it too, man. Take them 3 points, man. You got the best kick in America. And I said it earlier in the season. I said I felt bad for Borregales because it's like we're not going to give him no work, no opportunity to work. That was a game he could have worked and could have earned his money. Yeah, we did. We didn't allow him.
I don't like I said, I don't blame him because the way our defense was playing, it just felt like a game where we needed touchdowns. A lot of that is hindsight, and we've been going for it and getting fourth downs all year, bro. So just like you said, right? You expected Cam to get that. We expected him to convert on 4th and 5s and 4th and 6s, and we expect conversions. So I don't have I get it. What y'all saying, I ain't saying y'all wrong. I'm just saying I didn't have a problem with it because the way our defense was playing, man, we got to get these points because we don't know when we getting the ball back, bro. An 11-minute drive. Man.
An 11-minute drive.
That right there took the life out the whole team. With them niggas on the field for 11 minutes. I looked at. I'm watching it on TV and I'm looking at everybody on the team. I'm like, yeah, they don't even look like they want to be there. They just look like one of those. I got your soul and there's nothing you can do about it.
The running backs did though. The running backs wanted to be there. They were running well. At least one running back.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well.
Yeah, I was gonna say one running
that
back.
That drive kind of took a lot. Like you just didn't expect for them to have the ball that long. That's damn near a whole quarter itself. So like,
and that's fine. We still in the game. We running the ball. They cannot stop us, bro. If somebody said like at one point in time we was averaging 8 yards a carry. Why would you get out of that? I'm not worried about Cam's rhythm. If we running the ball at 8 yards a clip and knowing that they can't score very well, hand the ball off.
I'll tell you why, KB. KB, I'm pretty sure both of their starting quarterbacks, like 2 of their starting cornerbacks, is out. That shit is any offensive coordinator in America will tell you, like, I'm taking my shots downfield. The problem is we saw for another week in a row, we've seen a lot of and this defense I think is worse than Duke's statistically. And they hampered, but I'm seeing guys drop passes, just not really get separation again. Like, and once again, like we can talk about Cam holding that ball a little too long, but shit, what else is supposed to happen when like this is their third, fourth string cornerbacks and we can't get open? You know what I'm saying? Like eventually they did, but a lot of that too, and man, I've had my moments where I've defended this year, but I need to start seeing less of 11. I almost single-handedly blame a lot of this loss on 11. When 2 comes out there, it's different. 11 is too, he's too wish-washy for me. Like he have his moments where he'll make a good play. The motherfucking man the ACC receiver of the week at one point. But then they had days where I'm watching him in person, like there was one of them fade balls that came through that shit perfect. And it looked like he's turning around too early in the route. He's looking back way too early instead of getting to his top of the speed and then turning around and looking back. And I know that's not something that KB is teaching him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I'm at a point now where it's like, yeah, I need to start seeing more too. He's been shorthanded. He seemed to make a clutch, big third down catch at least once a game. I don't see him drop it. And start seeing something else. I don't know, but
yeah, two been playing good. I'm with you, Mehdi. 11. Like even it was like third and something, and he drops the ball. He catches it and then he drops the ball. He gets it. I'm like, come on, man, you gotta
get him out the game.
Yeah, buddy hit his ass and he dropped the shit.
I like Streeter keeps saying though. Streeter say, man, it's hard to win. It's looking like how hard is it to win in college football, right? And I can understand the point about being down 2 corners, but my guy, if I'm rushing for 8 yards a clip, that's what we doing. I just can't, like, you have to make those adjustments. That I know what's going on out there, but guess what? My guys are not getting separation. You know what I'm saying? Sweet baby Brown out here dropping balls, not diving for balls. Nah. I can give this ball to Martinez and he gonna get me 8 yards a pop. And we still and Martinez Fletcher only got 4 carries. We saw no AJ Allen. Why are we so against the run game? I don't know. I'm just yeah. We gotta
be a tenor. But he ain't that now, and I cannot be happier. Thank God. I'm tired of hearing about that shit. Don't talk about it. Real quick, X. I gotta get this shit off my chest because I needed a reasonable crash out and shoot just gave me one. I need to fucking.
Oh wow.
Here's my thing. I need the fucking committee. I need the fucking AP full right. He lucky I ain't see him in that box yesterday because I would have had to pull up on Jordan McPherson. I need you Oh, I wish you made me big, but I'm off thing because I'm driving. I need you bitch ass, hoe ass, fuck ass, pussy ass journalists to just say the quiet part out loud, right? If you don't want, if you want your beloved SEC and Big Ten teams to be in the shit, just say the shit. But stop sitting here blowing smoke up people's ass and acting like these teams that we just saw. Miami lost by 5 on the road. We saw you're now number 10 in your coaches poll. Georgia get body slams through the pavement against Ole Miss. The game was never close.
Crazy.
And Carson Beck. But you're sitting here and now I see Indiana, who should have been up there. But I know why you did it, because Indiana plays two big games in the next 2 weeks. I think they play. Well, they just beat Michigan yesterday. I think they play Ohio State next week. So you're just
Yeah,
giving
they
them
play
something
Ohio
else to
State.
bolster for the committee to bolster them. You're just giving them something to bolster them to get you more ratings because you're trying to get Ohio State up in the top 3. That team lost on the road by a point. Miami lost on the road by 4 points more to a bowl eligible team. Granted, it was against Oregon. Got it. Because this shit is corny. If you don't like Miami, if you don't like the ACC, just say the shit.
They're not gonna say it.
But
They're
the
not gonna
fact
say
that
it. They're not gonna say it. They're not gonna say it.
yeah, you know what? I don't have any plans to go any more games, but Jordan McPherson, he lucky. You better hope the ACC, you better hope we win the ACC championship. Because if I see Jordan McPherson, we gotta have a conversation. He one person and a whole bunch of writers, but I know they all suffer from this thing called groupthink. Google that if you don't know what that means. But we need to stop. We need to stop with this nonsense, dog. Because this is ridiculous. For Miami to be out the top 10 with a loss.
That's a coach.
It's
That's the
absolutely.
coach's poll. Yeah, that's the coach's poll, man.
Hey, so
Yeah.
AP
Streeter,
gonna
right?
follow suit.
Let me say this. Let me say this before I get up out of here, right? So Streeter, me, I don't know. I think this probably like 6 or 7 years ago. Me and you, when we first got news on NIL and transfer portal, right? We both were saying, well, listen, college football is going to be a lot different than what we normally see. It's 2024, week 10 just passed. College football is a lot different than what we normally see. I mean, you got Alabama with 2 losses. You got Georgia with 2 losses. You got BYU that's undefeated, Indiana undefeated, Vanderbilt beating SEC teams. Florida State is 1-9. This is college football, and I'm here to say I love it. You know what I'm saying? All the days of Georgia, that's why maybe I'm not mad at the SEC bias. I don't care because they just gonna beat up on each other, and guess what? Eventually, they not gonna put 4 SEC teams in. It'll be probably 3 at the most, but that's about it. I'm loving college football. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got the one thing that everybody keeps saying, oh, well, this team paying them players, this team paying them players. Well, guess what? It's some other teams that ain't paying a lot of players that's kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? So you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I'm happy, man. College football it's a damn good product. And
I don't know, X. I don't know if this coach's poll is indicative of the AP poll or what the playoff guys are thinking. This is weird.
Well, okay, so what it is,
this is them saying that your ACC, your Conference USA. Like it's weird.
But remember, I told y'all, I said, listen, they looked at the ACC and said, well, your best team lost to one of our best to the best teams in SEC. There's no way we're going to put a team like the ACC above any other team. I told y'all that.
Clemson is not our best team.
But they were looking at it like Clemson is our best team. They still.
I mean, but they can't. Yeah,
when Clemson lost their second game, they still were saying.
X is deeper than that. It's deeper than that, dog. Because there's no Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois.
Right.
Which is why they're number 7. If Notre Dame would have lost to anybody else, Notre Dame would probably be number 2 right now. If Notre Dame would have lost to Michigan, they'll be number 2. Notre Dame would have lost to USC, they'll be number 2. They're
Either
number
way,
7 because
either
they
way,
lost to Northern Illinois.
either
But they
way, X.
didn't.
Those are
They
now
didn't. They
now
lost to
two.
Northern Illinois.
No,
Hold
I'm
on,
saying
hold on,
if they
street,
lost to those teams.
hold on. Either way, those are still two bad losses. Your example is two bad losses because Northern Illinois and Michigan ain't shit. Both of those
Yeah,
teams are
but
bad.
it's the name, Eddie. It's
I
not. It's not.
understand the name, but there's no like Texas, for example. Texas is number 3. Texas has no ranked win, just like Miami, and got one loss. And the loss that they lost by double digits at home. Miami lost by 5 points on the road. What are we talking about? To a bowl eligible team, mind you.
Right.
They look bad, and
Well, they
honestly,
both eligible. They both eligible
they could.
because they beat our ass.
No, I get it, and beat our ass is crazy, but
Well, I don't mean they beat us. I'm just saying they beat us, but they both
yeah,
eligible.
they won, right? But so once again, the problem that like I'm having is stop the needle moving. If you wanted to just say that, but what I get tired of is this constant like needle moving for the teams that you prefer because they draw ratings. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that a fucking 2, and nobody would sit there and take that. If a 2, you will have the same issue that anybody is let's say, for example, Georgia somehow does manage to get just the right matchups and get to the championship. The first thing I saw in that article outside the blatant Miami hate was her saying like, oh, we now have to have a conversation about a 3-loss SEC team making it to the playoffs. It's like Heather Dinich and all them, they're all in bed. They're all in bed together. All them people have a vested interest to see, like I said, these SEC lower 48, East Coast teams get into this playoff because they understand it's about ratings. And that's all I want you to just come out and say. Just say the shit. Just say
And
the shit.
then
Hey, we don't think you're going to be a draw. You'd rather put this team in, even though this team got 3 losses that are inexplicable. You'd rather just see them in there instead of you. Just say the shit.
Well, and then, man, you got to think about it. Remember, I keep telling y'all, it's pointing towards 2027 is basically going to be a major 2-power conference. Until the Hurricanes get in one of those conferences, that's just what it's going to be. Now, if the Canes was in one of those conferences, guess what? We'll still be a top 10, top 5 team probably.
Well, I mean, 1 second. Shout out to John C. 6796 with the $2. Georgia Tech used the same game plan Florida State did to us to a T. What on defense? He talking about because Florida State.
I wouldn't say to a T. I wouldn't say to a T.
Yeah, he's saying defense.
But I wouldn't say that.
He talking
I mean,
about as far as them playing the two cover high safety. That's what he talking about. They did the same thing Florida State did.
well, they was holding like Florida State too, but I think even that whatever that defense was, we stopped ourselves with that bullshit. They beat us on offense, man. Offensively, they beat us offensively. Defensive, we was getting what we wanted. We just wasn't
we was getting what we wanted.
executing. Guys was open. Yeah, man. The Royals should have had 2 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes, man. It was whatever, bro. But no, you're right.
Streeter, we going. It's going to be a 2-power conference. And what the NCAA, what the committee basically saying is to keep a hold to being with the NCAA. Let's cater to these 2 conferences because they're not trying to lose them.
Next, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that 17 super conference will happen before, and especially because the product they put on the field, it almost seems as if since they started talking about that shit, the SEC play has regressed.
Right.
Ever since they started talking about that sewage, we need more slots. It's like, okay, cool. It's almost like the rest of the conference is like, oh, so y'all can lead us out. So we're not shit now. And then you see the damn the bottom feeders of the conference now, like Vanderbilt, suddenly got something to say, and they got something to talk about. The South Carolinas of the conference suddenly want to pop up and start showing people stuff like the Indianas of the world. These are teams that we never used to hear about. And suddenly, as soon as they start talking about, why? Because it's almost as if like they're afraid that if they don't get that same caliber of actual gameplay, they're gonna find a way to boot them out. They're gonna Colorado them, because that's really what happened. You think about it. Colorado, they left the. Everybody talking about, they're doing such a great job. It's like, look at the teams they're playing. They're not playing. The Pac-12 has formidable opponents. Big 12 don't got opponents like that. We know that they historically don't play defense. We know that. We've talked about it for decades. So everybody's like, oh my God, they look so great now. I was like, okay. Shout out to y'all. They look great. But what
I mean,
about Colorado got you so excited to the point where you're feeling like that you're feeling like they're head and shoulders better than everybody else? I hear all this Heisman talk. Like, who is Travis Hunter doing this stuff against?
all right, now
Texas Tech?
don't walk down the Travis Hunter. Don't walk down the Travis Hunter road.
I walk
But
that
I'm
motherfucker.
just
I
I'm
walk
just
that motherfucker with
Hold
designer
but
shoes on. I don't care.
I'm just
Leave
telling you, but
Travis Hunter alone. Leave Travis Hunter alone.
I'm just telling you, like this is the talk that's basically going down with coaches. When you start seeing a lot of coaches saying, "Man, I got to get over to an SEC program because they know that's where the money going to be and that's where the football is going to be. It's going to be SEC Big Ten. It's going to be basically a little league, or not a little league, a minor league NFL league. Like that's what it's going to be, and Miami gonna be okay because Miami we're gonna get in. We're gonna get in the Big Ten, but right now it's just man, we're gonna cater to these Big Ten and SEC teams.
Like I said, X. Quite frankly, I am not a fan. I was a big advocate for the Big Ten, but watching how these teams go back and forth and how we look going to the West Coast, and I'm not a fan of that shit. I would rather a 70-team super conference where it's a fair playing field. You make the super conference, you make regions, you play the teams in your regions, you get better options for matchups. You don't have to go across country. And then those region teams, give me that every day and twice on Sunday. But this Big Ten SEC garbage has to stop. And their product on the field is making it very clear that the people are going to push back to that nonsense. And I think just for the sake of revenue sharing, that works out better for you put the 70 best teams in America and you rank them 1 through 7 and you let them play every year. And then even that you can make a better call for a bracket because you can make situations where it's 1 versus 70 at the beginning of the season, 2 versus 69, etc. No diddy. And then that's how you schedule your matchups so that when you get to the end of the year, you already have kind of a bracket set because if for some reason 70 upset number 1, well, shit, then they got a good they can jump some spot. They ain't gonna jump the damn like 40 or something, but they can jump some spots and make some noise. And if it's just they get laid down, then so be it. They get laid down, you push on. But that 70 super team conference from a bracket perspective, from a revenue sharing perspective, Disney's supposed to be backing it. That shit speaks more volumes than me joining the Big Ten and then having to go to fly out to Washington to go play Washington on the road. I don't know. It just don't make sense.
I mean, but okay. So things in life are about power, right? Who has the power and who makes the decisions. I think right now it's definitely a bias. It's definitely a bias with the SEC and the Big Ten, and they're trying to say that these conferences are the best. They're ranking them higher, and then they're saying, "Oh, well, this guy lost to a ranked guy. This team lost to a ranked team." But you're the one picking the rankings, like so they're pushing them up to the front, and then telling us, oh well, these are the better teams playing against each other. So that's why that coaches poll that looks crazy. That looks crazy, but they want us to believe that, and I'm not buying it. So I don't know how fast that can happen. But the people that are calling the shots, right? The people that are calling the shots and making these rankings, the money lies in the SEC and the Big Ten. You can see that there's a bias. You can definitely see that there's a bias in these rankings. All right, so let's move on. So listen, Miami loses, and then we walk out of there in Atlanta, and Miami doesn't control his destiny anymore. I go get on a plane. I go to Hooters. Watch Colorado, watch Georgia fall again. I go get on a plane, and Virginia is beating Pitt, right? So for all y'all that went to sleep, took whatever y'all did, took some drugs, drunk a fifth of gin, and went to sleep depressed last night, Virginia upsets Pitt, right? Mm-hmm. Who was a one-loss team, which puts Miami back in his driver's seat, right, Mehdi?
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yep.
Right.
We're good now.
So SMU's undefeated. I think Clemson has 1
loss. They lost to the team we beat. But But
Correct.
the thing I tweeted out, like, regardless, we was going to get in because Clemson had to play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got to play Tech. So I'm like, yeah, Pittsburgh going to lose one of those games. But as long as we don't lose to a team that Clemson lost to, we are the second seed as of right now.
And not to mention, the like I said, that target that I talked about only last week is now on SMU's back. So SMU now has to stay because they can fuck around and lose a game, and then they're not in the conversation at all either. So they gotta be Boston College. I think Boston College at home. And I posted in the Discord, they got a couple games that they gotta still navigate. So I know they probably feeling like oh, this shit sold up, like Canes fans was. But y'all gotta understand, like that target, once you get in those positions, gets bigger on your back, and teams are gonna give you the best shot. Refs are not gonna give you their best calls. I seen a situation yesterday. I'm still trying to figure this part out. Buddy ran out of bounds against us, and his team was screaming at him on the sideline, and it stopped the clock. And they were screaming like, "Why'd you run out of bounds?" And then the clock started running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I get
what
confused about those rules. I get
remember the
confused.
clock
I don't know.
don't stop when you run out of bounds
I
no
see that sometimes.
The clock
Yeah, I
don't
get
stop when you
confused
run out
about
of
that
bounds no
rule.
more.
The clock
Well,
don't
here's the thing.
stop.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Yeah,
the
the clock
thing.
don't stop when you run
Y'all-
out of
y'all-
bounds.
y'all said-
It
y'all
only
said- y'all
stops
said-
when you under the 2 minute rule.
Correct. But there was a part also in at the 6 minute, 15-second mark where we had the ball, I think, and we ran out of bounds, and I saw the clock stop. Someone caught a pass out of bounds. I think it was either Horton or JG, and they ran out of
Was
bounds
it a
and the clock
completed
stopped.
pass? Is
It was a completed pass. It was a
Oh.
sideline pass, and I saw the clock stop, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Because I thought it was
No.
way too early for the clock to be stopped. I was like, because in my head, I'm like,
But
shit.
he said
If that's the case,
he said under 2 minutes.
that's what I'm
I
saying,
mean,
Kyle.
No,
So
if it
so
stopped
he
at
said
6
under
minutes,
2 minutes.
then
He said under 2 minutes is when it's a running clock.
Yeah, if it stopped at 6 minutes, then yeah, that's something that we got. I mean, they got to look into. But let me actually let's talk. I'm finna go. I gotta go. But let's talk about this goddamn targeting rule. It's like every game we're getting called for targeting that's not targeting. Like, what is it about the Hurricanes uniform or the Hurricane helmet hitting the player? Hitting target. Like, god damn.
No, football is just soft. It's not just the Hurricanes. Football is some pussy ass shit right now. It's soft.
It's soft, Peter, man, but
you can't hit a guy with bad intent. If you hit a guy with bad intent, they're going to throw a flag and they're going to talk about it.
That's crazy. Like, Moten was having a damn good game, and he gets kicked out. I say, "Oh shit, it's everything going against us because that's not a targeting." For one, the player, I guess, okay, he gets out of Ruben Bain face mask and he spins. How else is goddamn Morton supposed to hit the guy? Like, dude, if you hit him too low, y'all gonna call a flag. If you hit him, like, I don't know how he's supposed to hit him.
What did they say?
They say he led with his helmet, but his face mask hit him in the chest. Not his helmet. His face mask hit him in the chest. But they saying he led with his helmet.
I think it's a bang bang play, but I think with the problem is, and me and Cap was talking about this on the sideline, there was absolutely a face mask that should have been called, and it ripped his helmet off.
Yeah,
the problem is instead of throwing the flag for the
They
face
did.
mask,
They called it.
I know they did. I know they did. But I'm
No,
saying
they called it. They did.
I know. I'm saying that they did. I'm saying that in that play, I mean, you can't stop it because it's live, right? He called a face mask. He's still running, so he's not defenseless. He makes a spin move. The problem that I have is that you knew that it shouldn't have been targeting. You know that because the situation. I think they just called it because when they watched the replay, his helmet's coming off, and they already felt some type of way because they had. I think it was 2 other targeting calls that they didn't call. So now it's like on top of everything else Miami got to deal with on a bad defense. It's almost like you're neutering them more because now we got to be careful with because they let the Cal one slide, and people said, "Oh, they were cheating from Miami." Let that one slide, and all you were gonna hear from media and all these other people was that, "Oh, see, here go the ACC cheating from Miami again," which is absolutely ridiculous. Because I'm sitting there looking at replays, and Street, tell me if I'm lying. We was in the press box. And I'm like, "Yo, is that not holding? Is that not a PI pass interference?" And the guy's like, "Nah, it's not pass interference." And he explained, "Oh, if you run it to dude's chest, it's not." I go back, get on Twitter, and I'm watching them hold. I'm like, dog, look,
You
don't
talking
piss
about
in the
with
cup, give it
Horton?
to me and tell me it's lemonade. Yeah. He's like, oh, it's because
You
he
talking
ran out
about,
the receiver.
man,
And
you should have
live
slapped him
action,
for saying, you should have slapped him for saying some dumb shit
look,
like that.
look,
That man almost pulled his
look.
shoulder pad off.
And I'm sitting there thinking like, dog, I know I'm not going crazy. That's pass interference. Like, and the man didn't say nothing. I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna argue with you. You know what I'm saying? You a sports media guy up here in the press box, whatever, right? But
You
that's the type of
argue with
shit that I'm
him?
talking about. Huh?
He ain't nobody. You argue
I
with
know
him?
what I'm saying is up there. Like, we're not gonna get into the. I just like he was kind of like, yeah, man, I'll be the same. He's like, I'm a Bears fan. I'll be the same way if I was watching the Bears game. I was like, no, you got nothing to do. I'm talking about what's right and wrong. I could be a fan too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about like those are calls that are getting missed. And the
All
crazy
right.
thing
So,
is,
all right.
oh yeah,
What's up?
go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish up.
No, go ahead.
All right. So shout out the Canes for like $4.99. Just seen two college top 25 poll rankings. One poll had us at number 10, and the other poll had us at number 12. If y'all looking at these polls today, it's gonna be a long day. Listen, man, stop losing to Georgia Tech. Control our own destiny. I mean, that's the best thing I can say. This Virginia player last night doing the Cam Ward celebration as they upset Pitt, which Pitt looked like the worst undefeated team in America last week. I think the game ended 24-19. This is kind of crazy, bro. Like that the world is doing the celebration. And even his peers, is doing the celebration. So shout out to Virginia, who takes down Pitt, and Miami controls this destination with the ACC Championship again with Wake Forest and Syracuse left. They got a bye week this week, so y'all get to sit down and Saturday and just sit down and hope for everybody to lose.
You know what? At
Hope
this
I,
point,
hope
Street,
I,
it don't even make no sense to do that because they're gonna lose by 18 on the road and still get a higher ranking than us. So the rules are made up. Nothing matters. Like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hoping for shit. Like, at this point, I think Miami can win the rest of the season. They'll be like, you know what? We're gonna put Georgia in the ACC championship just so we can get them a bye. Like, because at this point, you know what I'm saying, we need to do everything we can to get these guys up in here. Like, so shit, I'm just like, fuck. Like, that's why I said I don't worry about this stuff anymore because, like I said, they're gonna bend the rules and change the shit whenever it's convenient for who they want in there. So fuck it.
Yeah.
It,
So
it, it, it really makes no sense. Like,
Chris
and
Young
people are
said,
really
shout
trying.
out to the villain. Chris Young said, crash out, Matty.
No, I'm just being honest. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like you're telling me that a team that just lost. You remember back in the day, it was like, oh, you want to lose early, right? Because that like, it's like cool. They come with the 14 playoff. We watched them change the rules to put a not. It was like, oh, you got to be a conference champion, da 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 da. And then when it became convenient, it was like that one year. It was like, oh yeah, Alabama is one of the top 4 teams. And we were like, based off of what? They just lost in that conference championship. And then they were like, uh, because we said so. And everybody was just like, all right, cool, fuck it. They're number 4. And then they made the seeding so that neither one of the teams had it, and then we had an all SEC championship. And then that's when this stupid shit hit a fever pitch. Now it's like, all right, here's the clear rules, right? Conference champions, they get in, they get buys, they get this. 4 best teams, then 12 at-large bids, da 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 da. Hey, you got to win the games. You know what I'm saying? You're in a chance. And then every week I hear, oh shit, uh, Georgia lost again. Well, let's just say they better anyway because they lost to a good ranked team on the road. And we've been saying for weeks, like, wait a second, ACC got one loss team here, one loss team here, undefeated team here, undefeated team. How the fuck are they? How are they not in the conference? How are they not even ranked? Like, and then it was like, well, we don't know, but that's just what the rankings is. So yeah.
So the selection show is going to happen every week from here on out, right? I can't hear you. You're on mute or something like that.
I said, what I told you about that, man.
Huh? What's up?
Street, I act like the Fed, man.
Huh?
So you gotta act like the feds, man. I put my business out there, man. Give him the plate too while you at it, man.
Oh no, I said what you thought I said? I said the selection show is going to happen every week, right?
Well, I thought you said something else. Okay, don't worry about it. I thought you said something else.
It's going to be all right, dog. It's going to be okay.
Yeah,
It's going
nah.
to be okay.
No, I tell you off the stream. I thought you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
something else.
yeah.
Don't
It's
worry
gonna
about
be,
it.
it's gonna be no. The selection show happens every week, right? So that's the only ranking that really matters at this point, right?
I can't
Right.
even say that. I can't. I wish I could, but it's like I said. It's you said it. I said it. It sounds like we getting set up for failure. Like these two polls. I don't know if the AP poll dropped yet, but they're very clear indicators of because we got to be stupid. We think that a media conglomerate like ESCCPN, and these writers aren't in cahoots, don't talk, aren't colleagues, didn't go to the same, journalism schools. They talk, they have conversations. Hey, what are you thinking about this team this week? What do you think for the poll? If you think them people don't talk to the people who are part of that committee, you're crazy. If you think they always say, "Oh, we don't see these until you do," yeah, fucking right.
Hmm.
Whatever that guy's name is, like, give me a break.
Hmm.
Like y'all know these things happen. But like I said, what I'm having a problem with is you like I would just rather you just say that. Like this team has a bigger draw. We like this team better. We're gonna change the rules and tell you why we picked this team anyway. Like, oh, we picked this team because they did this or they played tough on the road. They lost, but it's like shut the fuck up. Just stop. Just stop. Because that same narrative you don't give to other teams because you have to be right. You have to continue to be the expert. I stand this hill and I'm gonna die in this hill. The only people that should make in preseason rankings, period, is the committee. If you feel so good about them, you put them there first. You put them there in July and August. And then you let the
Mhm.
media follow. And then if they're wrong, at least the committee was wrong. But what I'm tired of is seeing all these sports writers, these fat slobs that ain't athletic, never played sports in their life. They get together collectively every year and say, oh, yeah, guess what, guys? We feel like Alabama's number one. We can't exactly tell you why, but we just feel like it. So we're going to do it. Georgia's number two. Still can't tell you why, but we're just going to do it. Just say that shit. That's all. Like, but even then, like I said, I want the committee to say it because we spend, what, 10 weeks, 11 weeks letting them decide what it is. And then the committee just comes out like a bat from hell and just decides, okay, we'll take it from here, folks. We feel like
Right.
this team is number one. Like that is nonsense. It's a nonsensical issue. It does not make any sense. Period.
Y'all want to take a look at week one poll?
Week one.
Week one poll.
Want
Yeah,
to see how wrong they were?
take a look at week one poll because you always hear people say stuff. Well, they lost to a ranked team. Well, they lost to a ranked team, right? Let's take a look at week one poll. They had Georgia number one, right? Ohio State, Oregon, Texas number 4, Alabama number 5, Ole Miss 6, Notre Dame was number 7, Penn State, Michigan was number 9, Florida State was number 10, Missouri was number 11, Utah was number 12, LSU, Clemson was number 14, Tennessee 15, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Arizona was ranked, Kansas was ranked. When you start talking about rankings and they lost to a ranked team and this team lost to a ranked team, bro, just think about this. Think about this. Like think about this is what we're putting credence on, right? Florida State was ranked, but it turned out they're actually a 1-8 team, 1-9 team.
But that's kind of supporting my point, and part of me agrees with it, right? Like you can't go 13-1 and not have any of that carry over. I was surprised that we were ranked at 7-5. And that's the point. Like nobody, to include AP pollsters, can explain to me why teams are ranked in the preseason. Nobody. They can't tell me what the logic is. And it's a bunch of them could come together and decide, hey, we feel like this team's number one. But nobody can tell me why. No one can give me a reason explanation for that. Is it last year's team success? Is it acquisitions in the transfer portal? Is it your recruiting class? What determines, hey, this team is number one in the nation? Georgia, number one. Didn't win the national championship, played in essentially a meaningless bowl, beat Florida State to sleep. Number one this year. Explain to me why that happens. Ohio State. Did they make it in the 14 playoffs?
Who, Ohio
No.
State?
No, right? Yeah, they lost to Michigan.
Iowa
Didn't make
State.
it in the 14. Didn't make it to the 14 playoff. I don't know what bowl game they played in. They probably won. You're number two. Congratulations. Oregon lost in their conference championship in the last year of the Pac-12. Didn't make the 14 playoff compared to Washington. Guess what, buddy? You're number three. Pack your bags.
Florida State was top 10. No, I mean, so it's very subjective. And now with the transfer portal, it's almost impossible to do. But they're going to keep doing it, right? And they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to keep going with their narrative. I mean, and it seems like they're just going to keep pushing the SEC big teams to the top and acting like the other conferences don't really matter. Everybody's playing a weak schedule if you're not in the SEC or the Big Ten. And like I've been saying, I'm not going to buy into it. I can't buy into it. If you're just getting here, man, I mean, yesterday Miami went down to Georgia Tech, which was a bad loss. Hour before the game, me and Mehdi going to the game. Mehdi is saying that they can't throw the ball. 30 minutes before the game, we're on the sideline. He's saying they can't throw the ball. The game starts, and they can't throw the ball. The man's shoulder's messed up. And somehow our defense, somehow our offense also, which the offense is in the game also. They see what's going on. So you got to be a little more conservative. You got to be a little more precise if you're going to get the ball less times, and you got to convert. I think somebody just put in the membership. We left 9 points on the field, like field goals that we didn't take. That's what you were just talking about, Mehdi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hindsight, though, man. That was game flow, dog. We didn't know when we was gonna get the ball back. Dog, our defense was getting their ass kicked so bad, bro. I see why he went for it. I had no problem with that shit, man.
Cal, I didn't want any of them field goals either. Not net.
Yeah.
Now the 3rd and 16 in the fourth quarter, I wasn't sure there. I thought they would kick it just because we had just lost. They just took the touchdown from us, and sometimes that's kind of like a letdown. And I thought they would kick it, but they didn't. They went for it on 3rd and 16, and he didn't get it. I'm here to tell y'all this, man. When we were about to get the ball back, right? We were about to get the ball back the last time we stopped them. Cam Ward standing in front of us. The wide receivers are huddled up, look like they're praying, and they're about to go out there on that last drive, right? I just thought it was going to end like everything else has been ending for Cam. I thought he was going to find Restrepo, find Horton for 40 yards that we had no clue where he came from, and eventually we was going to be at the goal line, and we were going to win the game. Kyle and Mehdi, when that guy stripped that ball out of Cam's hands, I couldn't even get mad. I just said to myself, boy, we have been playing with that fire all year long.
I think a lot of people kind of had that same.
I said when he stripped that ball out of his hands and Cam was trying to extend the play, which is what makes him great, and he's holding the ball how he's holding it, and I don't want to say nonchalant. It's just he's ice water in his veins out there, and that man stripped that ball. I just said to myself, listen, boy, that's the football gods. That one was coming. It took a long time to come. Because he had escaped the jaws of death numerous times. Like he hasn't got he escaped the jaws of death numerous times. And I just had to eat that one. I was like, okay, he's our guy. He's a large reason why we're here. I go, okay, I'm gonna eat that one. And then here comes the fans, they storming the field. And you know what I'm saying? Now we're in the middle of the bullshit. They tried to get the field goal post out the stadium and run with it through the streets, and the police wouldn't let them. The police kept stealing the field goal post and taking it back in the stadium.
Yeah, they were standing on the shit. Like the cops was actually standing on a pole while I was on the field, like so nobody could take it.
Right. And everybody's saying like we could make a whole list of the guys that are standing open. We should just make a whole montage of the guys that are open when Cam Ward is scrambling around. Because when he finds a guy in the back of the end zone, I'm proud for him to be our quarterback. I'm happy he didn't check it down. You feel me? So I'm not gonna act like we can have it both ways.
No, he definitely had his moment. Like I said, when he threw that one touchdown, the one that magically got called back, I was kind of like, and I started, giving my, conspiracy theories the street about, how they need certain teams to stay alive. And looking at that poll, I'm absolutely right. I feel like it's a vested interest because there's so many. I think somebody put in the comments, we have more bowl eligible teams in every conference right now. And I don't think it's necessarily close. I think there's like, it's as if we're trying to put as much, quote unquote quality into the league, but into the postseason as anybody else, because it's a lot of good teams. But I think the issue is that when we do that in the past, those teams end up going to bowl games and getting their shit kicked in, regardless of conference. I think last year we were horrible in bowl games.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that, I think the same thing. I think we put more people in, and then you see beginning of the season when we play, I think the ACC is like 2 in everything against the SEC. And the SEC is not good this year. I will argue they're probably not that good every year, but like I said, they
AP
moved the
poll,
needle. But
the AP poll just came
no,
out.
I see that bullshit.
And
You got Alabama. You got Alabama. I don't understand how I don't understand how Louisville was on a bye week and don't move up. LSU got smacked 45-13 at home, and it's still a ranked team in front of Louisville.
That's so disrespectful, ain't it? It is.
Missouri beats a terrible Sooners team back ranked. How many SEC teams in this shit?
Georgia has how many losses? 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody except Texas got 2 losses. No, I think Tennessee got 1. But Texas 1 loss was about 15 to a 2-loss Georgia at home. 1, 2.
Alabama
3,
got
4,
2 losses?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn near half of the top 25 is SEC teams.
Yeah, because they're putting them at the top of the rankings, and then they're telling you it's strength of schedule.
They're not telling me shit. They're telling the rest of these people.
Right. They're saying it's strength of schedule. They're putting them at the top of the rankings. If I was SMU, I'd be fucking livid right now. But basically, they're telling us our ACC wins don't. We're right there with Boise State. That's what they're saying. And when you get a chance to punch them in the mouth, you're gonna have to punch them in the mouth. Period. And Miami, you can't go in there pussyfooting with Georgia Tech. I mean, nobody feels sorry for them. It's Georgia Tech, dog.
No, you're right. I'm not arguing anything about the style points because that needed to happen. You need to beat these type of teams decisively and not keep them around. That's what my biggest issue with Guidry is that you just didn't adjust. I am not arguing that at all. Do I think he should be fired? Absolutely not. But I think Mario need to pull his ass in the office and be like, hey, help me understand what I'm missing here. Right? Because we had X, Y, and Z, and you just kind of let Like he can't be looking as a personnel guy, as an elite recruiter. You can't be sitting there looking at Jaden Harris every week as my crystal ball, seeing what he's doing, and say, "All right, we we're gonna keep putting 7 out there." Like that's I just need to understand what you see, Gidry, that says, "Hey, 7, we trust you. Go ahead and get out there again." And like, we're not even gonna try to put somebody else out there. Like it's gonna be 7. And even when we bench him, even when he Street thought I was wishing he was hurt. I was not, but he got hobbled a little bit and he went off the field. And I was like, hey, that might be it, right? I wasn't hoping for this shit. I'm just calling how it is. 2 series later, 7's back out there.
Yeah. They had all 3 of them out there yesterday, though, huh? Zaquan at the same time. Me, Zaquan.
And once again, I'm trying to figure out where's 15 in this situation.
I thought he was about to come in one time, and then they went.
Now, granted, flow of that game, especially when you need to tackle in space, maybe 15's not that guy, right? That game. But there are other games this year where teams have passed. I tell you this, he probably would have been real useful on a goddamn 3rd and 18.
He could have contained. He could have contained. He could have contained. I know that much. If the way Mish, I got to get into this.
Please.
Before I get into this, I'm gonna say this is the thing I've been saying. I've been saying these same things all year that everybody's talking about today. And when I was saying them, everybody was like, "Hey, you so negative and negative." Yeah, dog. Now y'all see the shit don't came back to catch up with you. These bad habits have to be corrected, offensively and defensively. Cam Ward, I get what Cam Ward is, but my guy, if you take the fucking check downs, man, you'll make your life a whole lot easier. You'll make our lives a whole lot easier. We'll kick the shit out of everybody. But we've had 10 weeks to get that done, and we still haven't been able to do that with him, right? But defensively, as he's talking about it with 7-0, my gosh, it's so bad, bro. Their angles are so bad. We've talked about it ad nauseum. At least with Marquise, right? If you saw some of those play, their reaction skills back there are bad. Like if you watch Mish, his reactions are so bad. This is Georgia Tech. You have a game plan. You know what they want to run. Haynes King is in the game. Why am I still backpedaling when the ball is hyped? I should be, boom. I should be a stick. Same thing with the DBs. I understand you're a man, but your back is turned to the play really, really often. You could have played them off a little bit to diagnose the play first because they only threw the ball 16 times. 16 times. There's so much common sense stuff. There's so much like football IQ stuff to be there. With those safeties back there, they do not read and react fast. And even when they do, I started seeing Mish come up, and every time he came up, he still let the man get to the outside of him. Brother, how? You have an advantage. You back there, you see it all. You the first one to come up. Just run to the outside, even if you don't make the tackle. Just run to the outside and make him cut back in. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and tell me that Marquise can't do that. I need y'all to go watch the Rutgers game, go watch Vatek game, and watch how fast Marquise get to the ball. I understand what Mehdi is saying about yesterday may not be the game. It's still the game. You know why? Because 7-0 ain't making the tackles. So I'd at least like the other guy to get there fast enough to trip him or hit him in his nuts or something. Like, he might not have to make the tackle, but just slow somebody down.
Right.
But we continue to put those guys out there. They have such bad football instincts, bro. It is hurting us so bad. And it's not to call them bad players. They're probably just out of position. Mish need to go back to doing whatever he was doing in Washington. Harris need to go to the nickel. You need some football players back there, bro. They're going to mess up too. It's just like Porter going back to the outside. Doesn't mean he's not supposed to get caught on. It's going to happen. But you're trying to not be as bad as you were the game before. And every game we get worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's the same. And we will not make personnel adjustments. I saw somebody saying Gidry has changed the defense. He has. He's changed the defense numerous times. We just changed it for Georgia Tech. Students came in there telling me, oh, we finna put an extra linebacker on the field. What sense does that make? We had to think about it. Oh shit, for Georgia Tech. Okay, that makes sense. So that's three or four lineups we've done. The problem is we're not changing the personnel. At some point in time, you have to relent and change the personnel. You saw the linebackers get on the field. We're like, oh shit. I'm not saying they played lights out, but it's like, goddamn, Chase Smith can play. Alderman can play. Like, Where have these guys been when we're watching Kiko take bad angles and getting ran the fuck over? I don't understand. Like, are we paying these guys that much that we can't bench them? These guys they deserve to lose snaps. That's not me calling anybody sorry. That's not me saying they have to stay on the bench, but they deserve to lose snaps. And for whatever reason, we're at a point where we choose not to do that. Mario need to swing his nuts. I don't know what effect he think it's gonna have on whether recruiting or the transfer portal, but my guy, we're here to win football games. These guys are not putting out the best product on the field to help you win football games. You should not be afraid to go to other people and see if you can get the help that you need. That's where we are, particularly with the safety play. It is so bad. It needs to come off of the field. It needs to be replaced, hands down. And everybody keep thinking we don't have the answer. Again, I don't want to hear shit about we got what we got. I don't want to hear that because you're not playing everybody. And I honestly think y'all can disagree with me. I think you see a different team if you put two natural safeties on the field. I get everybody saying DeMario gonna come back and that's gonna change. I don't think so because you still got those same two safeties on the field who can't read and react, who can't cover, who can't get people lined up, who are confused themselves, who take bad angles, who miss tackles. They need to get off the field because that's 6 or 7 deficiencies I've just named. And if you put Markeith and Zaquan on the field, you may have 2 deficiencies. You understand? But they can do the other stuff. So to me, it just does not add up, bro. I'd rather have, it's just like the Porter situation. I'd rather have Porter on the outside getting caught on twice a game than to have him playing nickel getting caught on 5 times a game. You get what I'm saying? Like it makes sense, all the sense in the world, and we refuse to do it. That's where I am with Guidry and being fed up with Guidry, dog. He deserves to be here. He deserves to have a chance to fix his defense. But if you're not going to take that opportunity, I don't have a problem with fans calling for your head, bro. But that shit need to change, man. And I need the coaches to speak out. I need to hear Mario getting pissed off. I need players getting pissed off. We can't go like this. If we finish out the season like this, dog, I don't care what they do with Guidry, bro. I don't, bro.
And
I'm
another
sorry,
thing.
y'all.
No,
That was
I'm
my
just
rant.
kidding. No, you good, man.
I'm
It's
sorry,
okay.
y'all. That was my rant. That shit is just, this has been building up. And it just, I didn't want to be right, but I know what I saw. And it finally just caught up to us, even offensively. My guy, run the ball, please. Run the ball and take the check downs. We just want to win the game. Damn the stats. Come on, man. Come on, man. We need better coaching. We need better coaching. I think our coaches are good coaches, but there's another level that they can get to that they're not getting to. We need way better than what we putting out there, bro. I'm
I
sorry,
think
y'all. That was my rant. I had to get that shit off.
I think everybody saw it, Carol. I don't think what you were saying was ever incorrect. I mean, it's glaring. We take bad angles and we miss tackles, and it's been on the table. Cam Ward been taking the greedy play. Cam Ward been holding the ball like a loaf of bread. Ain't that what your coach used to say? He been doing it. He been doing it all year long. He been doing it. I mean, so when the ball gets stripped out of his hand, okay, they got us. You know what I'm saying? Happened at a horrible time, but they got us.
Last week, I watched
Shout out to
Miami
Coach
beat
Hayes,
up.
man, from Dubai, wherever the hell you at, Coach Hayes.
Last week, I
Hey,
watched Miami. Last week, I watched Miami be number 4 with 2 one-loss teams in front of them. Now I'm watching Miami be number 12 with two-loss teams in front of them. There have been times in my life where I've seen somewhat successful Miami teams with 2 losses, not even this late in the season, and wondered, like, damn, will Miami be ranked? Like, I'm not even
Yeah.
bullshitting. Like, as a second loss, maybe uncharacteristic. And I was like, maybe we can still stay ranked. We can stay like 25, maybe 26. It's 2024, and I'm watching a situation where 3 top 12 teams have 2 losses, and they're in front of a 1-loss team.
Yeah.
Boise State undefeated? No, they got 1 loss to Oregon.
One loss. They're ahead
Boise
of
State,
SMU.
yeah, and SMU got 1 loss to
Many.
BYU.
But if you think about it, it comes to a point where it's like you can't get in front of them. Georgia may not lose 3 games. Alabama may not lose. You can't get in front of them. And that's what they're setting up. You win out, you can't get in front of them. And that's what they're setting up. They're kind of setting it up, kind of like Oh yeah, this is the cream of the creme, the cream of the cream, the cream of the crop, the best teams
Creme
in
de la creme,
football.
street. Creme de la creme.
And that's what they're trying to. That's what they want us to believe.
Hmm.
Like I said, the Big 12 was 1-1 versus SEC last year. The ACC was 6-4 versus the SEC last year. But they want us to believe. So we're going to see what the selection committee say.
I'm not watching that shit. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me in the Discord.
Did it look kind of like did it? It didn't mirror the AP poll last week, did it? Not really. It didn't really.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Did it?
To me, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, I told everybody I was like, tune it out because that shit don't matter anymore. Just like this one don't fucking matter. But I don't think the AP poll writers, I don't think the coaches or the fucking committee know what they talking about. Like I said, I think they have private conversations. I have resoundingly stood on, and y'all heard me say it on this show. I believe John Sankey pays these poll writers, pays them. The committee, the conference pays these poll writers to continue to compensate and rank these teams based off their rankings. In no
All
other
right,
universe
we're
or
gonna say that
world.
conversation. We're gonna say that conversation for our own group me.
Okay.
I don't know
In no
I don't know what
in no
Sankey
other
doing.
world,
We're gonna say that. We're gonna say that for
in no
our own
other
group.
world, in
For
no
our
other
own
world,
little private text.
in no other world can we see this many two-loss SEC teams still be in the conversation. Let's say, for example, let's say it wouldn't be like this because there's two Big Ten teams up there. But let's say for the sake of it, we'll bump BYU up. And let's say BYU is 4, right? And or BYU's 2, Texas, and for the sake of conversation, let's just say, well, I guess can't be no then they're not conference. I don't know who to put. Fucking Boise State would be 4 in an actual committee. So let's say Oregon, BYU, Texas, and Boise State is your top 4 teams. Are we looking at that and saying like those are the best 4 teams in America? Are we sitting there saying like, and then you have a bunch of SEC teams amongst each other, basically getting to play home games, and then you sprinkle in a Notre Dame and maybe a SMU in Miami? Like, what are we doing here?
The conference champions get a bye, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
So it's the
if
4. They
Miami wins
say
the ACC, huh? It's one of the
they say it's
top
the
4
4
teams.
the 4 highest ranked conference champions,
The
which
4
is where I have a
highest ranked.
problem. Yeah, that's what me and Casey was going in about yesterday.
The 4
So
highest ranked conference champions.
that's where what you just said kicks in. Where you're like, it's like it's can let you get ahead of them because
Right.
let's say for some reason, who would be? I don't know. I can't even tell you who the hell's in the driver's seat anymore. Let's say the SEC championship would be what? Texas, Alabama,
Texas
maybe Texas,
A&M.
Tennessee right
Texas
now.
A&M. Texas
No,
A&M.
Texas A&M got blown
Texas
out.
A-
It would be
when? I think Texas A&M is number 1 in the SEC, aren't they?
no. I think Texas is number 1 again because Texas A&M was undefeated in conference play till they lost to LSU. And then LSU got body bagged through the pavement last night by Alabama. So I think it's Texas and
Okay.
Tennessee.
Okay.
I don't have. I'm on my phone. I don't have the point for him. But let's just say for hypothetical, Texas and Tennessee, right? One of
Hmm.
those teams. Let's say Tennessee got 1 loss to Alabama. Was it Alabama or they lost to?
It's Texas, Tennessee, and Texas A&M all have 1 loss in the SEC. That's what they're saying in the comment section. So it's Texas and
Okay,
Tennessee.
look what
Mhm.
Texas A&M is. Texas A&M is behind 2 loss Alabama, 2 loss Ole Miss, 2 loss Georgia, and 1 loss ACC teams. But they the second best team in the conference.
Tennessee and
This
Texas A&M are at the top of the SEC.
okay, so let's say Texas A&M beats Texas. Now Texas is a what? 2-loss champion, right? Because they lost 2
Mm-hmm.
games, right?
Right.
Overall, you're gonna
Texas
tell
lost.
me
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all right. So Texas A&M, and I think they play at the end of the season. I think they play a rivalry game at the end of the season. So let's say
They
Texas
do.
A&M beats Texas, right? They go into
Mm.
the in the SEC championship. Well, I just said it. One of them gonna have to play each other and lose, which means it's gonna bump somebody else up. But for sake of the hypothetical, let's say Texas A&M beat Texas. You mean to tell me that a two-loss Texas A&M SEC champion is gonna get a higher bid than a one-loss Miami, possibly?
That's gonna be lower, right? If you're saying if you're saying the higher if you're saying the higher ranked
Ranked, yeah,
champion,
highest ranked four
right?
champions.
So we're still gonna be higher than them though, because they're at
I
15.
s-
We're like by which poll? Like you get what I'm saying?
yeah. So,
Because
so
I'm confused. I'm
let's say
trying to ask. Yeah.
let's say they do that, right? Now let's think about
Mm.
this. You have an undefeated BYU as a Mountain West champion. They're gonna be a front of or behind the SEC champion.
Judging by this, it's supposed to be in front of.
Correct. The problem that I'm
Hmm.
having is that it's supposed to be the four highest ranked conference champions, which would mean you gotta take in consideration what? Because this is
The
where I think
poll,
he was a
the
little.
AP
I had to
poll.
think about it. No. You gotta take in consideration conference champions, which means if there's an undefeated BYU, a Boise State who only lost is to a ranked Oregon in the beginning of the season, the SEC should not have one of those four seeds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I get
But
what you're
we
Um,
know,
saying. Yeah.
but we know
the
damn well
BYU
that's not gonna
BYU in the
happen.
Big 12. I think you maybe made a mistake or something. They say in the comment
Okay, Big
section
12,
BYU.
Big
Yeah.
12, Big 12. Okay, so Big 12, and then, so let's say it's undefeated Oregon at this point, one loss for undefeated BYU, one loss Boise State, and a one loss Miami. The SEC wouldn't have a bye week because they only give buys to the four highest ranked conference champions.
Wait, is BYU not in? What is BYU in?
Big
What
12,
Big
conference are
12.
they in?
Big 12.
Big 12.
Oh, huh.
Say it again. Say it again clearly, Matty. Say it again.
Okay, so if we're doing this the right way, and you got the four highest ranked champions, conference champions, not conference, because part of me was like, wait a second, how is this? It's conference champions, which means group of
Mm-hmm.
five and the G5.
At large, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they should get
Boise.
a that would be Boise. So Boise as the Mountain West Conference champion, if they have a better record than an SEC team, the SEC would be the odd man out looking in. If
Mm.
Miami goes on to win one game, Oregon goes undefeated, BYU goes undefeated, and Boise State has the one loss to Oregon by 3 on the
But
road.
they're not the highest ranked though.
It doesn't matter.
They're
It says
higher
the
than
four
he
highest
said
ranked.
no.
It's the four highest ranked
Right.
conference
They
champions.
right.
Okay, so
They'd be ranked higher than Texas A&M. That's what he's saying. If Texas
okay,
Yeah,
A&M
so
won, they'd be ranked higher than Texas A&M.
in this, if Texas A&M win, is what you're saying.
yeah. If Texas
Mm-hmm.
A&M or Texas, because they have to play each other at the end of the season, and then
So the
let's say they do
SEC
win,
won't
they
get
win
a
out.
bye.
If it was
Judging
called
by the
today, but
rules.
how the record is, yeah, no, they wouldn't.
Right. Mm. And I can sure see them trying to buck that shit. I don't know how they'll do it, but there's no way they're gonna let the winner of the SEC not get one of those buys.
Even if for some reason Miami don't win, and you got a one loss SMU that gets in conference champion, on paper they should be higher than any two loss SEC champion. Period, because their one loss is against BYU.
Yeah. The SMU, if anybody should be pissed, is the Cowboys in Dallas and SMU in Dallas. If anybody should be pissed, they should be fucking screaming at the top of their lungs. They lost to
But
number
but
7
like you,
BYU, and they can't crack the top 12.
like I said,
Mm.
this is why I don't watch these polls, and that's why I don't watch that selection show because this shit's too early to call. Miami still got to win games. We all thought that Georgia Tech was a layup. Wrong. Wake Forest just came off their best offensive game of the year against that vaunted Cal defense, and Miami has allowed offensive highs to every ACC team they played this year. They go on the pedestrian against everybody else, but against us, they damn champions. So n- I'm even at fault for sitting there saying, assuming that they're going to be in the ACC championship because our defense is not to a level where we even looking at playing. And granted, there's injuries for sure. Guys are nicked up, guys are banged up, absolutely. But other teams are figuring it out too. So
Right.
Hey,
there's no
then you
excuse,
just say
dog.
Georgia Tech beat us without both of their cornerbacks. Quarterback with one arm, lost two running
The
backs.
run, the runner, the runner. Yep, the running back who broke that first big run off. He only played that first
Mhm.
series.
Yep,
What was
and
wrong
we
with him?
lost. He
I don't
got
know, but
he got he got hit. The tackle they sandwiched him. It was Barrow and somebody they sandwiched him, and then I ain't gonna lie, Jaden Harris came on that late hit. I wanted him to kick him out of the game for that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
he must have had a
um,
concussion.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So man,
Man, that was the only play he had.
fact, what you're saying, the conference champions don't matter. The rank, they still get to buy. It's just where they are seated will be different.
Well, how can you? Well, yeah,
The
okay, they could be
conferences
seated
don't
different,
matter. The
but
rank is still get to buy.
the four seeds, the four conference championships have guaranteed seeds. So yeah, you can not matter how you seed them, but let's say Boise State wins out, they're gonna be one of the top four teams if Texas has a two-loss champion, conference champion, that is, or if the SEC has a two-loss conference champion. If like Oregon, they can hang out there. That's why these polls don't matter. Ohio State can hang out there all they want. They lost to number one. Right now, they are hoping to stay undefeated in the hopes of getting their lick back against Oregon in the conference championship in Indianapolis.
Is it only the
So you could
power conference champions that get an automatic buy?
no, the highest four ranked conference champions is how the rules read. So I think
Hmm.
that's why you see this giddiness amongst people who wanted Clemson and Miami to lose because it opens the door for us to be at large teams and for them to stick more SEC teams in there so that they have to face it. So that they think that those SEC teams would absolutely wipe the floor with Miami and Clemson and get them out of here. And Clemson gave a perfect example. Well, we handled our business against Florida, who took Georgia to the wire last week, which was pretty telling of what was going to happen this week. We handled our business. We've handled our business against the SEC the last 2 years. It's the rest of the conference that's tripping, minus Cal.
So listen, man. Before we get out of here, bro, listen. I got two stats for you. So I took the last 10 years and I ranked yards per game, yards allowed, and points per game. Our defense. So I took the last defense the last 10 years and I said, points allowed. Rank our defenses the last 10 years. And points allowed, 2024, this Gidry's defense this year is number 6 out of the last 10 years. Gidry defense last year is number 3 out of the last 10 years. With the number 1 defense being 2018, we averaged 18. We only gave up 18 points that year. What defense was that, bro? Who the fuck was that?
What year was this?
What happened?
That was
2018?
the last bit of the 2017 defense. That's the three linebackers was still here. Shaq and was still here.
Uh,
That was the last little bit of that defense.
yeah, the last
Was
10
that
years,
Rousseau? Was Greg Rousseau on that team?
that was Greg with all the sacks.
I
Yeah, I
think
think he
no,
was.
because Rick was still here. That wasn't Greg. Greg was
Was that
probably
Trent
the year
Harris?
after that.
Trent
He
Harris,
may
Andrew
have still
Nine.
been here. I know the three linebackers was still here.
Was
Shaq and Pinkney and them was
Chad
still
Thomas
here.
on that team?
I don't know if he had graduated. Yeah, Gerald Willis was there. No, because Gerald Willis was there that year. That was Gerald Willis' year, the 18.
Mm.
I just saw Chris Young said it. Yeah, that was
That dude
Gerald
went
Willis' year.
crazy and got hold as an All American and as a draft pick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think he had double digits. He had damn near double digit sacks that year and didn't get drafted.
Yep, that was
So
crazy.
So
That man
also,
was
I did
unstoppable.
yards allowed, right? I did yards allowed, and 2018 was first again. Um, and it's not even close. They only gave up 278 yards a game. But 2024 and 2000 was number 3, which is this year's defense, and 2023, which is Gidry's defense, is number 4. This year we're giving up 316 yards a game. Last year we gave up 328 yards a game. It's now those are stats, those are numbers. I mean, you can factor in who you're playing, who you played last year, who you played this year, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is on paper, because when they go to it at the end of the season, all they go to is stats. That's it. They go to stats. Oh, but we was the number 1 team wearing dark colors on the road. They go to stats. You know what I'm saying? So stat wise, it doesn't look as bad as it visually looks. I honestly believe yesterday we get more than 10 points. You know what I'm saying? We get more points up on the board yesterday. You know what I'm saying? 14 more points, 10 more points. I think we win that game. But I'm gonna tell y'all this, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all this. That's an ugly loss. Like for a team that had Lex aspirations of winning a national championship and all of this. If that's how we look with Georgia Tech's read option, you know what I'm saying? if that's what we're gonna do versus Georgia Tech's read option and a quarterback that can't throw, and then bringing in a quarterback that can, if that's what we're gonna do, then no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? We're riding high. We're 9-1. But that's an ugly, goofy loss yesterday.
I think a lot of
Period.
people, including Mario himself, would tell you, I don't understand why our fans do this. You heard me say the national championship is at Hard Rock Stadium in 2026. You go get the type of guys you need on the outside. You get some linebackers, you get some transfer portal guys, and a quarterback that's somewhat serviceable, and you run that back next year. And you just hope he's not Carson Beck between the ears. And that's what I'm aiming for. This is year 3. I think we just need to see tangible. If we're being completely honest with each other, we just need to see tangible offense and compete for the ACC championship, right? We lost some games that we shouldn't have, and in theory, that should have been an 8, maybe 9-win team. It is November and we're 9-1. If you told anybody at this point last year, hey, by next year, man, that shit gonna look different. You're gonna have 9-1. You're gonna have a little uncharacteristic loss, a close loss against Georgia Tech, who's starting to become maybe a thorn in Mario's side. But all the other, generational traumas that you accustomed to gonna go away. Everybody in the comment section, everybody who is a Miami Hurricane fan would take that. So I think we need to kind of reel it back, especially looking at how the rest of these teams look. The AP ain't gonna give us no shot, but you take every game at a time. That's how I've been on, and that's that's the hill that I'll die on. You win the games that's in front of you. You don't play with your food. If the points are there to take them shits, take them. I think this is a very easy lesson for Mario to learn, but I think he got to a point too where it's like he don't want to become Manny. That was a very Manny Diaz characteristic. Take the points, and then you're taking the points, but the other team's still scoring touchdowns, and you ain't stopping. It's like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't, because your offense can't score. Yeah, you don't want to waste a Cam Ward year, but sometimes you got to just dial it back and be like, hey, let's just take the points here. We'll figure it out as we go. But hindsight's 2020. You know what I'm saying? I think the team needs something to refocus. I've been said this, all this fucking Armani shit, motherfucker. Fuck, that was on my. I got that same Armani cologne. I ain't wearing that shit for the rest of the year.
What you talking about? What cologne?
That fucking Armani endorsement that Cam Moore got. Keep all that shit away from my program. I don't. All that
Bro.
Heisman talk bullshit. Let Travis Hunter have that shit. I don't care, bro.
You sound like sound like the old man. I mean, it's here, bro. It's not going back. It's not dialing back. That
Man, I
NIL
don't.
shit is there.
Keep that shit away from the program. All that bullshit. Go win the damn games. Because all that shit ain't gonna matter. They gonna talk about it now. If Dylan Gabriel pop up next week with a Armani endorsement, then what? You last week's news, right? So that shit doesn't matter. Go win the damn games.
He's still Dylan Gabriel. Cam Ward's still Cam Ward. That's individual stuff. It's like the Heisman.
No, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So listen, man, we got 2 hours, 1,500 people in here, man. Hit the like button, share for us. You want to become a member become a villain, get into some of these exclusive conversations we have. The link is in the description. Text me 786-459-499. Miami's 9-1 with a bye, so there won't be no Joe Rose tomorrow. We are not going to hear from these coaches for a while. Next Monday, I think, is when we're going to sit down and we can ask them questions. Now, what is this second bye week about? What is this? What the fuck? What is this? We had a bye week already.
They added
A lot of teams have
extra
that.
week to football.
Huh?
They added extra week
A
to
lot
football.
of teams have that though.
Gotcha.
A lot of teams have that like throughout the years.
We all got it, Kyle, because they had to add an extra week because of the playoffs this year. Because we would normally have
what I'm saying, it's not. It's but it's nothing new. Is what I'm saying. Like we probably don't get it often, but it's nothing new. It's not anything new. Having 2 bye weeks. Like, bro, you didn't used to play NCAA and you had to set your schedule up, bro. Having 2 bye weeks isn't new.
You, Kyle. The only time you get two, time you get 2 bye weeks. Only time you get 2 bye weeks if you play a week 0 game. We have more bye weeks now because there's more games that you play for the playoff. This is the first year they're doing that.
But whatever the reason, for that particular reason. But that's not the first time a team has had 2 bye weeks. Is what I'm saying. It happens. I'm 100% sure on that. It doesn't happen every year for every team, but teams do have 2 bye weeks. I mean, for whatever reason, that's where we at right now, or whatever. For like you said, because of the extra whatever. But that's not anything new.
I don't know, Cal. I don't know if you had some gummies for breakfast. I can't recall.
I know, but I'm 100% sure that's not a new thing. Maybe we haven't, but
let's get out of here, man. Let's go watch NFL football, huh?
I was gonna say, long story short, you got a generational curse to break again. You lost to us. I think that's when our season tanked, right? Last year when the fucking team lost to Georgia Tech, and then we'll see.
Yeah, they got a Wake Forest at home, and then you got Syracuse on the road.
Yeah. You got this ugly loss out your system. You get a week to go out, fix it, hopefully get guys healthy, get guys back. I can tell you this, boy, Popo would have been a menace yesterday on this bullshit ass team. Especially going back home. I guess the second home, I guess you'd call it.
I think those linebackers they brought in, man. Chase to me, do y'all see what Chase can't do? Is there something he can't do out there? Y'all got a different view from the television? Because from the field, it looks like Chase is out there with the Black Reaper shit on, with the goddamn Reaper thing, and he's out there. It looked like he would have put Hayes King out that game yesterday. They would have kept him shadowing him or spying him. Is this something he can't do?
His lateral movement because of his injury. But if that injury doesn't happen, I would make the argument he probably takes. I think he's a north-south guy. He could probably be in the conversation taking Kiko's spot. But I think because there were some plays that got to the edge when they realized, which Kyle has complained about this before, and it became extremely evident yesterday, all these goddamn twists and stunts. And then teams were like, cool, we wish you won't run up the middle, we'll run to the perimeter. So now you got a fat boy chasing me. It reared his ugly head again. If I pull a jet sweep and I motion a guy and you stunt, well, I just put 2 fat defensive tackles on the outside and your 2 speed guys inside. Now, when we get to the edge, nobody's catching me until a linebacker meets me. Shake the linebacker out of his damn out his cleats. Get to the edge. First down.
Dog, Chase sticks out like a sore thumb. I've been saying this yesterday, which is evident. They messed around and gave him more time, and he just did more stuff.
Now, Alderman looks good too.
Yeah, Ottoman was very physical yesterday. 22 is just a ball. I think he just got football in his genes. He's just going to be one of those guys that make plays and strip balls and get interceptions. Yeah, he's just those young linebackers look good yesterday. I don't know what Bobby Washington did, but he even had a good play. But he didn't play as much as the other two.
It's week 10 in the season, but like shit. Like I said, Lance is making adjustments. I guess I don't know. I think it's his position group is where he's not making the adjustments. The linebackers was getting in. Guys was getting rotated in. We talked about it. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all right, man. Let's get up out of here, bro. Y'all got any last words, man? Anything? I'm glad you made it through the day safe yesterday, Medi. I'm glad you didn't get a road rage charge, dog. And we walking trying to find a press after the game, right? We trying to find a press box. And it's like 50, 60-year-old white guy with Georgia Tech stuff on walks up to Medi and says, Georgia Tech! And I looked at Medi. I'm sure that dude was a Trump hat away from Medi swinging on him, dog.
Yeah, I was gonna slap his old ass right down the steps.
Hey, he was like, I say Medi don't hit him.
I'm gonna say, hey, shout out to whoever designed the rule to wear neutral clothing as a member of the press. Because boy, one of these Georgia Tech fans said something to me and I had some King shit on. There'll be a group meet. I mean, there'll be a GoFundMe for my bail right now.
Oh, I had you, bro. Don't even worry about it. I would have bailed you out. I mean, you know, when I'm with you when you're right, my boy.
We doing a tribute show for Medi, man. We gotta get him out of jail tonight, man. Y'all donate some money for him.
If Villas would have took care of it though, I'd have had the rest. We would have got you, my boy. You took one for the team. That's what we'd have said. Medi show him more hard than the safeties.
Hey, I had to.
I don't know, bro. It's funny, man. Yeah, they get the win and they're happy, and then they go home, take a bath, having dinner with their family, and you realize that you're 5-4. Like it's kind of like 6-4. I mean, it's kind of like right. No, but I get it. Yeah. I get it. In that moment, you piss somebody else off. Go home. We made y'all lose, and then you look around. I got Florida State fans that text me. I thought you said Karen Ward was winning the Heisman, and I just text them back 1-9. And this is like they're 1-8, right? Listen, they're 1-8. They texted me. I thought you said Karen Ward gonna win the Heisman, and they got a loss loading in 1 hour. In 1 hour, another loss is loading. And they got to
body slammed to the pavement. Gotta get body slammed to the pavement. And the Riley Lemon get back game. But you want my
52.
Man, shout out to my homeboy. I got two of my real close friends in the military, man. I know you didn't go all the way to Atlanta to watch this. And I was like, wait a second. One of them a Georgia fan. I was like, hey, new rule. If you got 2 losses, you can't talk to me. What y'all say about that? How y'all feel about that?
I agree.
Y'all have a good night.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Cam Ward. I thought you said Cam Ward was going to win the Heisman. Even though he still had a bunch of stats yesterday. I'm like, dog, it's 5 o'clock. Y'all got a loss loading in 2 hours. And you ride around with Florida State. And you ride around with Florida State gear on talking about Cam Ward. You know that the rule, they say sometimes certain people you shouldn't fuss with because they can't tell who the idiot in the argument.
Yes, sir. You arguing with a fool, it just make 2 fools arguing. Let it go.
Yeah, like don't be arguing with me before your loss come. You got a loss being served up. They bring it out on the goddamn tape right now. Dog, they put up a stat yesterday, dog. They said Bobby Bowden was 60-6. And what was the stat?
Yeah, and he's 66 and I think in ACC play. Norvell's like 1-9 just this season.
And Norvell already got 8 losses as a coach. All right, man. Let's get out of here. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button and share if y'all want to be a member, man. It's in the description, bro. We got one loss, man, but we still control our destiny. If you put to sleep last night, Virginia knocked off Pitt. Pitt don't want to be great. They just don't. Virginia knocked them off during the Cam Ward celebration. Georgia got knocked off. I don't know. Carson Beck out there seeing triples or doubles or something. I don't know what Carson out there seeing.
Man, BYU had a loss. BYU had an L. Utah fucked that game up. Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
BYU
yes,
didn't lose?
BYU. No, they
No.
ended up winning, bro.
I thought you.
Utah,
Oh man,
Utah had
I
that game.
thought you won that one. I thought Utah had them.
They had that game sold up, bro.
I'm gonna watch them
You see
highlights
they-
right now.
You see where they ranked?
They
my last thing,
they
man.
gave BYU dog. They gave BYU a call they would never give us, bro, on a sack play, bro. They called a holding penalty on the DB or whatever. It was so weak. I'm like, bro, we get that every week, bro. Nobody ever throws that flag. They had I think it was a safety or whatever. They had on sack them. The game was over.
Oh, you must
Flag
not seen
came out like I was
You
like,
must not seen that
wow.
Georgia game, Kyle. Oh my God, Kyle.
Mm-mm.
They hit this
Mm.
man Carson Beck. He fumbles the ball. The defender who was holding who got the sack was getting held by the face mask. Still got in, fumbles the ball. He can't pick he goes to recover the ball. He can't pick the ball up. He drops it as he's flopping backwards behind him. A Georgia player picks it up and starts to run up field as he's running up field with the ball. Now, mind you, Carson Beck is down when this ball comes out. And I think the dude had it, but the way he tried to, because it was raining yesterday, as he's trying to pick the ball up, he's like fumbling and it ended up bouncing out his hand. So he should have been dead there. But somehow the ball keeps playing. It's live. George player picks it up. He starts running. He gets his face mask pulled. This is on 4th down. It should have been turnover on down. Their ball. They call a face mask on the Georgia player who picked the football up because an Ole Miss player grabbed his face mask while he was trying to recover it. 1st down, Georgia.
Oh, the refs are so bad this year, bro. Oh my god, that's awful. But
I'm an Ole Miss fan. I almost put a hole through the TV in the hotel room.
Shout out to the worst targeting call ever yesterday, man. We out of here, bro.
all right, y'all.